Jordan Peterson, a very interesting man. I've seen a few of his clips. I've seen a few of his rants. I've heard a few of his arguments, and it's safe to say that I find him interesting. And a lot of you have been telling me about him, and that we should check out a few clips of him. So today we're going to be checking out. This is called Jordan Peterson. I'm not anti-feminist. Now, we know in this day and age, feminism is at an all-time high. It may not be the traditional type of feminism that existed years ago. It's gone pretty extreme, but at the same time, it's pretty interesting to hear the arguments, the counter arguments against against traditional masculinity, and everything is just in shambles at the moment. So yeah, guys, politics has always been complicated. It will always be complicated. Worldviews have always been a complicated thing. It will remain that way for ages to come. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome to Goals and Growth. And if you're looking to join a like-minded community of people looking to build the best versions of themselves, you can do two things. Please subscribe to this channel, and you're invited to go and join the free GG Discord community, linked down below in the description. This is where we have a casual chat. We talk a little bit about goals. We get to know each other. We talk a little bit about, the jobs we're currently doing, about how we can improve our daily lives. So it's really a fun little community to be in. It is small currently, but I'm trying to build it that much more every single day. So you'd be doing me an immense favor, in fact, if you've gone over to there and join that community. There's also free ebooks for you to go and download. These are my personal 3 ebooks that I put a lot of time into. They're completely free for you to download down below in the description. Those links are available there. If you're not interested in something like that, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the video.
First thing I would say is that I'm not anti-feminist per se. I mean, I think the idea that the world would benefit from the movement of talent from both sexes into the workplace as rapidly as possible is something that anyone with any sense should share, given the rather the rarity of talent and the necessity for utilizing it. I do stand by my original statement, though, that there's a brand of more radical feminism that insists that our culture is best characterized as an oppressive patriarchy, and I think
there we go. And this is the extreme feminism that I talked about in the intro, right? It's gone from seeking equality to seeking dominance, to seeking just complete and utter chaos, because it's all about blaming patriarchy. It's all about blaming traditional masculinity now. There's no more working towards equality. There's working towards dominance. That's just how it's become.
I think that, first of all, that's an appalling sociological doctrine, and I think it has very negative psychological effects. And they won't be limited to men, because if it's true that there's something toxic, let's say, about masculinity per se, what that will inevitably mean is that as women adopt more masculine roles, traditionally, what is that toxicity somehow going to go away?
Correct.
But that's a straw man, because no one says there's anything toxic about masculinity per se.
No, everyone says it.
What do you mean no one says that?
Everyone says
the term exists. How is that a straw man? Well, where did the term come from?
It's a phrase that's used about forms of masculinity that are harmful to men and women. It's not.
They're not. How are they harmful? Please explain.
I read the American Psychological Association guidelines for the treatment of boys and men, and I know perfectly well that this is no straw man. And it's not only devoted towards what you might describe as the more aggressive ends of masculine behavior. It's aimed at masculinity in a much broader, range of. There's a much broader range of accusations that are under the surface than that. And so I don't see in what way at all that it's a straw man.
I'm just going to pause that argument for a second and go to Catherine McGregor. And Catherine, I mean, you've lived on both sides of the gender fence. So what are your thoughts on these issues? And just go back to the question that was raised.
I don't know whether that qualifies me or disqualifies me, frankly. Sorry, guys, I ratted on the team, but not for any sociological reason. It was intensely personal. I gather we might address that. But look, I'm not entirely out of sympathy with Jordan's critique. I'm the oldest person on this panel, bar you, Tony, and in my lifetime, I've seen.
Have you ever noticed that Jordan Peterson seldomly, if ever, smiles? Look how serious the man is. She's making jokes left, right, and center. Man is focused.
Rolling institutional crises through the West. The great American settlement based on Bretton Woods and NATO and the United Nations and so on is fraying globally in the area that I can talk about with some authority. We're seeing a dissolving global order now with the rise of two autocratic totalitarian capitalist states.
Correct.
Which is replicating the conditions of the 1930. And I gather we're not doing the geostrategic stuff, but I think it's very alarming. When Robert F. Kennedy, who was my political hero, was running for the presidency of the United States in 1968, he addressed disenfranchised African Americans who were wearing the backlash from many white men who were losing their jobs or perceiving that they were losing their jobs. The deindustrialisation of the West as jobs are exported to the developing world, all of these factors are, Bobby Kennedy said it wasn't Germaine Greer that said it. He said, when you remove from the man the right to stand before his family as a breadwinner, and people will say that's patriarchal.
That's your minute, by the way. So.
All right, well, I'll shut up. But the removal of meaningful work amongst especially unskilled men has a political consequence.
Yes.
And it's been washing through the American system since
It's true, because that's why, because they're being made, they're being made as losers, right? You're no longer the breadwinner, so you have no pride, right? Because there's pride in being being the breadwinner of the family. You feel good, you feel proud that you are the breadwinner. But when that ability is taken away from you, you end up feeling like nothing. That's why I think personally that's why the suicide rate amongst men is so much higher than in women. That's personally just my opinion. That's a great contributor to it.
Washing through the American system since 1980 with the Reagan Democrats, the fraying of the New Deal coalition. I don't entirely agree with Jordan's analysis, but the problem can't be gainsaid. And 3 million books later in 50 languages or whatever it is. I bought your book, by the way, and you're outselling Shane Warne. Now, that's a culturally specific reference. Yeah. That delights me in two ways, because
cricket
in
legend,
Australian cricket, no one has more bleached blonde hair or has had more work done than I, but Warne is a close second.
There we
should
go.
put that out on Twitter.
All right, well, let me know your thoughts on this. So, at the same time, I hear what she's saying, but I also hear what Jordan Peterson's saying in that, feminism has changed from something that fought for equality, which was it was a great thing, right? But now it's kind of evolved into something more serious, into something more, I would say, even more toxic than the quote-unquote toxic masculinity that they so brandish. Because, what really is bad about telling a man to work out, to be the best version he can be? I'm not talking about using women. I'm not talking about anything along that line. I'm talking about being a responsible man in every sense of your life, going to the gym, building the best life you can. There's nothing wrong with that. So I don't understand why some people would even coin the term toxic masculinity. But let me know your thoughts about this. Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you so much for watching.